Eddie Van Adler is about to join us this hour, but before we do, someone says they do have the information.
Little Crooked Man.
On why the boy used, in the last hour or yesterday, used the spider web to stop the bleeding of his arm that had been bitten off by an alligator. Ronnie in Florida. Ronnie, what does the spider web?
Spider web.
Yeah, listen. What does it do, Ronnie? Go ahead.
It helps to coagulate the blood. If you ever read The Pearl by John Steinbeck,
Missed that one.
had to read that in high school, and there's a passage in there where the hero gets a cut and he uses the spider web. But also, I'm from Northwest Florida, and I've been taught that all my life by my grandparents.
Well, I bet, yeah. Living in Florida, no doubt. So, okay, good. Well, that explains that. They may have talked about that on Swamp People, too. So.
Seemed like that would, I mean,
Yeah.
I thought, you got to stop the blood flow, I realize.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Pretty good web.
I mean, I know spider web is strong, but if you got an arm bleeding, something like that would help it.
Well, you got to get in there, let it coagulate on that, get
Coagulate.
Get you coagulating, and stop that bleeding. I get you.
Didn't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. Eddie Van Adler is joining us. Bubba says he wants to set the record straight on 4 items.
Setting it straight.
Speaking of spider webs.
Yeah. Speaking of little spider people. Eddie Van Adler, he takes care of the Ustream feed, runs the robotic cameras, edits documentaries that are found on the website and in the Extreme Club.
Mm-hmm.
Does Rick and Bubba the TV show.
Yes, sir.
Cleans Bubba's office.
Yes, that's right.
Preach it.
And you said you want to, what do you want to do with 4 items? What now?
I'm going to set 4 things straight, guys.
Were you mad?
You can tell how mad I am by the way I'm talking.
So you're very angry.
Yes.
Very upset.
I am. First of all, first item. All right, I'm wearing this authentic German T-shirt that I got in Germany
When you were 4.
when I went to Germany.
Well, you don't get, does he get to drop names too?
When I went to Germany.
No, I think that's your deal.
Oh,
Rick.
come on,
Yeah,
Bubba.
Right. I mean, you're not a world traveler. You don't get to do it.
Look at
I
it.
can do it myself.
All right, I'll give you one.
Thank you.
It had to be a long time ago because it don't fit you very well.
Greg, for the last time, quit making fun of this shirt. And for the last time, Greg, it's pronounced Deutschland, Greg. You keep saying something else.
All right.
Did you go to Dusseldorf?
Keep saying something else. It's Deutschland. And Greg, I'll have you know that in Germany, my name, Adler, means eagle. In Germany, my name is Chris Eagle.
Now,
That's the coolest name ever, Greg.
is that point number 2?
That's part of point number 1.
What was point
Thank you,
number
Rick.
1? What was point number 1?
Is that this shirt is awesome and that I am awesome. That's the first thing I need to set straight.
Okay.
And from
it's
now on, y'all call me
Deutschland.
Chris Eagle. And make that sound anytime I say that.
And I've been saying the name wrong.
Yes, you have, by
No,
the
Greg,
way.
you just said it wrong again, Greg. It's Deutsch.
Right.
Okay.
Well, when it comes to you, I have a different pronunciation.
Okay, Greg. Easy. Secondly, I'm Chris Eagle, Greg. Don't you say that to Chris Eagle.
I sound like a wrestler.
Secondly, I took my gauged earrings out this week, y'all, and no one has said jack.
You did take it. Did you take it?
I took you know how I stretch my ears out?
Well, you had lost them.
I know. I took them
I
out.
noticed it, but I wasn't impressed because
No,
the
but-
reason they're not in it
I
because
knew
you
you had
lost
lost
one.
Well, then, just because of that, I'm going bigger. I'm going full African on all of y'all.
Oh, please do.
Call me Mufasa, okay? I am stretching these things. La Savannah.
No, look.
So,
Get you a disc and you
Wait,
know,
I'm
that-
going full
What's
African.
What's that last one?
That's some African language. They speak in cliques sometimes. I'm
is
going
that,
full
is that
African.
point number 2?
Yes, this is point number 2. I took out my gauged earrings that y'all have been making fun of since I started working
And we
here.
gave you
Nobody
nothing.
said nothing. I'm going full La Savannah.
I'm
okay?
proud. I'm proud of you.
I want y'all to know that. All right, that's the second thing I had to set straight.
If you're taller,
thank
we'd
you.
notice.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
all
a good
right.
point.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to see your ears when they're around my
Oh,
stomach.
that reminds me, Rick, you're a jerk.
I think that's Chris Eagle you talking
I'm
about.
sorry.
Hey, yeah, watch it.
I'm sorry, Chris Eagle.
Okay, thirdly, this is edgy. y'all.
Thirdly,
A lot of people give Greg too much credit for being hilarious, and I would like to rectify that situation. They just do. And I'm going to lift the curtain here a little bit on the show. I'm going to lift the curtain a little bit on the Rick
Don't
and
let
Bubba show here.
secrets out, man.
Some of the time when Greg says something hilarious, that's because Rick has actually sent him in that direction. Y'all, I'm being straight up, listeners. Let me give you an example. Bubba says something like, well, I guess you could say that President Obama has kind of big ears. Rick will then look at Greg. This all happens in a split second, mind you. Rick will then look at Greg and mouth the word bloodhound. Rick has now set the table.
Yeah.
The table has been set. Greg then says, "Kinda big. He's like a dad bird bloodhound."
You picked up on that?
Dad bird bloodhound.
Look, jealousy will get you nowhere.
Of course, anytime the word bloodhound is mentioned, I do need to. That means Bubba will be barking like a bloodhound, slightly off mic for at least the next 4 minutes. We can all
We love
agree on that.
Beagle and hound humor.
Is this .3?
Yeah,
This is all
3.
point of
Yeah,
point
all
three.
point 3.
Write them down.
I mean, Rick could be telling a serious story too. Like Rick
Thanks
would be
for
like,
ruining it for me.
Rick could be telling a serious story. But it'll be like, that's unfortunately when the homeless man's body was found by the bloodhound. Rick continues.
We love Beagle humor.
The homeless man was completely frozen when the bloodhounds. It's very inappropriate.
Very inappropriate.
Is that like item 3,
That's
letter B?
3
Yeah,
3
B.
point.
Have I ever said Dad Burn? I don't think I've ever said
Like your Bobby Powell.
That's so good.
And lastly, this is the last thing I wanted to set straight.
So these are the 4 things you want to set
This
straight.
is the 4th thing I need to set straight. Rick, yesterday you said something to me
I'm sorry.
in the
bud.
hall, and I quote, "You seriously ever think you'd be able to whoop my rump ever?" Just like it was just a normal conversation, no thing to ask.
It is in our house, isn't it, Rick? That was.
I just got to thinking about it. I mean, under any circumstance.
Ever.
But-
You enunciated ever so much,
Right.
and my response is this: yes, I think I could, under the right circumstances. Okay,
Chris Eagle.
I'm Chris Eagle here, y'all. Don't forget
So
that.
are these the circumstances coming now? Say,
That was my Eagle impression. I don't think it was very good.
Leave that out.
it's not as good as Bubba's. Do it again, Bubba.
Yeah, that's much better. Much better.
He's got you beat on that one.
Give me 1 year for training. Give me 1
He
year.
wants to train
1 year.
Okay.
An entire year.
I'm learning the 5-finger death punch currently. When it's one of Greg's favorite bands as well.
Yeah,
Right.
I like them.
My nunchuck skills are progressing quite rapidly.
Easy for you to say.
Yes, yes, indeed. And also, I think it would have to involve some kind of sneak attack. I would have to get the jump on you in order to be
Right.
successful. That being said, hit it, Speedy. Oh, Rick, you got to turn up Speedy. Let me
Okay.
say it. Let me do that again. Hit it, Speedy. I want Burgess. I want Burgess. It's going down July 11th, 2013. David versus Goliath. Yoda versus Darth Vader. Muggsy Bogues versus Kareem Abdul-Jafar. Iceberg versus Titanic. Tweety Bird versus Sylvester. You get the idea? Adler versus Burgess. It's the throwdown in Mismatch Town. Chris Eagle out.
Very good. So,
Adler, can I suggest you get that script for Space Navy ready to go quick?
Good, buddy.
Quick.
Only in America.
how about I thought about Space Navy this morning while I was getting ready for work?
Space Navy, hey, episode 2 is in the works.
Y'all give Space Navy way too much credit.
Hey, Greg, Space Navy is the greatest thing ever.
It was fun.
1 year.
1 year.
1 year. It's going down.
4 things.
Bubba, Rick and Bubba.